In this video I'll review business class on Singapore Airlines Boeing 777. Now, I was not supposed to be on this flight, but because of a misconnection, which you can see on separate videos, we were switched from the A380 for the overnight flight to Frankfurt. For this trip we were booked onto row 15, and I was pleased to see that this was the bulkhead seat with the extra space, which is coveted by many frequent flyers. Towards the end of the video I'll cover how you can select this row for yourself, and I'll also confirm the price of the ticket for what we paid in business class between Frankfurt and Kuala Lumpur. So have a look round the seat. Waiting at the seat were eye masks, slippers, socks and the new Singapore Airlines Amenity Kit, which was launched on the 24th of December 24. Produced by Labo, inside the heavy canvas bag is a face mist, lip balm and hand pomade. Back to the seat setup, there's normally a small cupboard above the vanity mirror, but that's missing on the bulkhead seat. Also, I found that the monitor did pick up more reflections, being slightly higher. Compared to the other 3 flights on this trip, this aircraft definitely felt the oldest, but I was still impressed with the cleanliness and the comfort, and everything worked. If you were to press that subscribe button, it would make me very happy. We had access to the Chris World system, which is excellent. It's not a touch screen, so you have to use the remote to navigate. Soon after takeoff there was a drink service with nuts, and then it was time for dinner. Departing from Singapore, the Book the Cook menu is extensive. Now, unfortunately, because of the flight change, the choices that I made from this menu had probably just landed in Frankfurt as I was taking off from Singapore. The crew member did explain this at the outset, and therefore we had to choose from the in-flight menu, which is shown here. The prawn starter was nice. Hokkien mee was a bit bland, I wasn't impressed. The gingerbread and pumpkin cheesecake was the best bit. This meal really showed me the benefit of having the Book the Cook menu. The crew kindly put the seat into bed mode while I changed. You can see the mattress pad. Other people rave about this seat and the width, not having to use a foot cubby. You can see there was room to move around, but to lie flat I still had to lay diagonally. I'm 6'1" or 185 centimetres, and there was a piece of the seat moulding which was irritating. First world problems, I know. I did love the fact that you can adjust the table height, so with the bed deployed you can take all your meals. Noise cancelling headphones were great. They came with the hygienic covers, and there are 2 headphone sockets, one on each side of the seat. Use whichever's convenient. Now, about the Wi-Fi on this flight, there was never an internet connection throughout the whole flight. One member of crew said this was due to a black spot and he would get back to me when it was working. I asked later and another crew member explained to me that they just couldn't get it working. Breakfast was served about 2.5 hours before landing. Fruit platter came first, and I heard my wife offered muesli or yoghurt, but then it wasn't offered to me, so I had to ask later. The Belgian waffles were really nice. There were always plenty more amenities in the loo, and it was kept extremely clean throughout the flight. So this is me putting the bed back into seat mode, ready for landing. So if you want a bulkhead seat, how do you select it? Well, to start with, they're all blocked for elite PPS members and passengers with children. 96 hours before departure, they're released for selection by phone or by live chat, and 48 hours before departure, you can select them at online check-in. My impression of the bulkhead, well, there was definitely less privacy. You were right next to the loo. There were more screen reflections, so I don't think I'd try and book it again. Now, in terms of the crew on this flight, the main member of crew that was in charge of our aisle really was excellent. Great service, friendly, clear, professional, clear that she enjoyed her job. I think she was let down a bit by some of her colleagues who didn't always offer what they should have and didn't always bring you what you asked for. I would estimate that the business class cabin on this flight was only about 1/3 full, so I thought the service would have been on it from start to finish. Despite some of the things I've pointed out, this was still a very comfortable flight, and Singapore Airlines really looked after us after the misconnection, which wasn't our fault, but it wasn't theirs either. So I've already booked again for later this year. So our return trip from Frankfurt to Kuala Lumpur, 4 flights. The price was £2,068 per person. I hope you've enjoyed this Singapore Airlines series. Please check out my other videos and subscribe for more to come, including Etihad Business Class. For now though, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.